I am going to call the meeting to order, and will everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the
United States
of
America,
and
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible,
with liberty and
justice
justice
for all.
That was rough. All right, the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meeting of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the Cedar Grove Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be advertised by having the date, time, and place thereof posted on bulletin boards in the district, published and or transmitted to the Verona Cedar Grove Times and Star Ledger newspapers, tap into online news, filed with the township clerk, and posted on the district's website. Roll call, please.
Mrs. DiChiara.
Here.
Mrs. Miga.
Here.
Mr. Splendoria.
Present.
Mr. Shoner.
Present.
Mrs. Dye.
Here. The meeting is open to the public for comment on items on the agenda. I believe it's just us. So seeing none, I close that portion of the meeting. Well, good evening, everybody. How's it going?
Good.
It's
We're
going
going.
well. We're going. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going. That's
Exactly. Yeah, we're going somewhere. Mr. Featherman, exactly. What day is it? Mr. Featherman, did you just want to give just a brief overview on how we're all doing with whatever week we're in for virtual learning?
Absolutely, yeah. I think we're starting our fourth week, and we're winding. And if it's the fifth or the third, it could be either of those as well. We are rapidly approaching what many of us believe is a much anticipated spring break. We will be, as you all know, closed Friday for Good Friday and the remainder of the following week, and make our triumphant return to virtual learning on April 20th, the Monday. I couldn't be more proud of how, our staff, our support staff, our administrative team has risen to the occasion. I mean, and I don't have to, tell tales. I get emails and people call me. And they tell me just how much their child is getting out of this virtual learning plan that we have in place. To be sure, it's not perfect, and I encourage folks that may be listening out there to keep the feedback coming. Look, we all have things to complain about. There's no doubt about that, and sometimes people just need to get that out. But at the end of the day, our team is very interested in separating the griping from the usable feedback that can inform our plan moving forward. Listening to the governor today, the news is not good. Now, we remain optimistic that we may find ourselves back in the district before it's all said and done. But to paraphrase the governor, as each day goes by, a graduation ceremony is looking less and less likely. And that's upsetting on a number of levels. But in the meantime, unless and until we're given, the order that it's time to hang it up, we're going to stay the course. We're going to be creative. We're going to have fun. We're going to do as much video and audio conferencing. We're leveraging our support staff and their knowledge of OT and PT. We have our related services folks doing teleconferencing now. So we're pulling out all the stops to connect with our kids, to allow our kids to connect with their classmates. And as I've said, it's not a perfect system. We appreciate your feedback. We look forward to the spring break and, getting back after this thing on April 20th. So hang in there. We appreciate your support. It means the world to, I can tell you, myself and the teachers, and we are so grateful for it. So we hope to see you back in school soon.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I think we all hope to have everybody back in school soon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right. So moving on from the Office of the Business Administrator and Board Secretary, can I have a motion for B1?
So moved.
Second.
So B1's a little long, but I want to read the entire thing and then we'll go from there. B1, opposing delay in transmission of quarterly property tax revenue to school districts. Whereas Assembly Bill 3902, currently pending in the state legislature, would authorize the Department of Community Affairs to permit municipalities to delay the quarterly transmission of property tax revenues to school districts during gubernatorial declared emergencies. And whereas New Jersey's public schools are highly dependent on property tax revenue to support education programs, and whereas on average local property taxes constitute close to 60% of public school revenue, with the percentage even greater in a significant number of districts, and whereas a delay in payments from municipalities would result in a financial crisis for school districts, seriously disrupting the educational process and bringing it to a halt, and whereas although public school buildings are closed during the current health emergency, the education of our students is taking place through remote learning and home instruction. And whereas continued timely transmission of school property taxes is critical for the education process to continue without interruption, and whereas even though municipalities are designated as the authorities to collect property taxes, these taxes are levied for specific purposes. Municipal, school, county, fire districts, and these obligations must continue to be met. And whereas, as currently written, A-3902, which is intended to ease a financial burden on municipalities, would place a severe strain on school districts and the students and the families they serve. And whereas the Cedar Grove Board of Education recognizes the impact of the current public health emergency on the state and local governments, as well as local school districts, but believes this legislation would worsen the situation for our communities. Therefore, be it resolved that the Cedar Grove Board of Education urges the state Senate and the governor to oppose A-3902, and be it further resolved that this resolution be delivered to Governor Phil Murphy, State Senate President Stephen M. Sweeney, Assembly Speaker Craig Coughlin, and the 40th Legislative District's representatives in the State Senate and General Assembly, and be it further resolved that copies of this resolution be sent to the New Jersey School Boards Association. Any discussion?
No.
At this
No.
point, I'd
No.
like to ask Mr. DeVita, our BA, just to kind of put this in sort of layman terms, what this means, because it was a lot of words that I read.
All right. Sure. Yeah, this resolution was a sample one that the New Jersey school boards sent out to see if any district would want to approve it. And if you remember when, sorry about that, time for my daughter's probiotic. In the resolution, it says that the average local property taxes add up to 60% of the public school revenue. That's the average for the state. For us in Cedar Grove, it's 88% of our operating budget, meaning that 88% of our revenues that we receive come from the tax levy payments from the township, which come from the quarterly payments from all of the individuals in each municipality. So if the bill would go through, and if the municipality of Cedar Grove would want to delay the payments, that would mean that the district may not receive the tax levy payments on time, and then that would force us not to be able to have enough cash in the bank to be able to continue to pay the salaries of all of the teachers. So that's why I think it's important that we're opposing this bill.
Great, thank you. I appreciate that. Any further discussion?
No.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. DiChiara,
Yes.
Mrs. Miga,
Yes.
Mr. Splendoria,
Aye.
Mr. Shoner,
Aye.
Mrs. Dye.
Yes. The meeting is open to the public for comment on items on or off the agenda. And seeing none, I close that portion of the meeting. Announcement of future meetings. Our next regularly scheduled meeting is April 21st. Same virtual place, same virtual time. And then the following meeting will be May 7th. And we'll continue to do our public sessions via GoToMeeting. I think this format is working for everybody. So any further comments from the board?
No.
No, thank you.
No.
All right, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mrs. DiChiara,
Yes.
Ms. Miga,
Yes.
Mrs. Pondoria,
Aye.
Mr. Shoner,
Aye.
Mrs. Dye.
Yes, the meeting is over. Everybody, please stay safe and healthy and stay inside.